So in this tutorial, we'll continue looking at the comparative essay. We'll talk about some of the things you want to keep in mind as you move towards actually writing the essay itself. And we'll take a look at an example that features some of the key components of a comparative essay so you can see how those things you've been working on can be effectively integrated. So I think before we get through this tutorial completely, there are a few things you want to keep in mind. First of all, you need to have your brainstormed notes and your secondary sources ready to go. You don't want to try and start writing before you've collected all the stuff you need. Once you've collected all that stuff, you should definitely identify the themes, the categories you're going to use to organize your work. And if you remember the last tutorial, we took the topics and the text, arranged them into a question, and created a working thesis. And as much as that thesis can still change, we need to have that thesis to guide all the things we're going to do. So again, we'll start with the premise that we've gone past these stages and we're now officially in part 2. So we'll review our categories briefly. We'll try to write a topic sentence for one of these paragraphs. We'll look at an example of a general to specific introduction, and we'll examine one body paragraph in a little bit of detail. So let's imagine that we're working with these two films, Jerry Maguire and Forrest Gump. And we've organized all our thoughts, and we've come up with the following categories. We found that while these movies are both very popular and very entertaining and have lots of great points, there are a few problems with them. First, with Jerry Maguire, that love isn't an essential component of the relationship between Jerry and his secretary, then wife, Dorothy. It seems to be based on financial stability and societal rules. And because of this, the marriage relationship doesn't always feel real. In Forrest Gump, because the characters are symbolic, each character actually represents some facet of American life, the marriage between Forrest and Jenny is also symbolic, and it doesn't feel very real and fully constructed because of that. And because we have symbolic characters, we tend to see really simplistic relationships between the characters in the film. The construction of a topic sentence. We'll take two ideas from one of the categories based on Jerry Maguire. We noted that the relationship between Jerry and Dorothy doesn't seem particularly real. This is because it seems driven by the need for financial success and social expectations and roles. So there are numerous ways we can combine these ideas into a topic sentence, but something like this will meet our requirements. So we have in Jerry Maguire, a hasty marriage is miraculously saved in the end. The change, however, is driven by social expectations and financial success. So in the paragraph that would follow this topic sentence, I want to make sure that everything in that paragraph proves that this statement is true. So let's take a look at the essay or excerpts from the essay itself. Now, you notice here that I have that topic sentence that we just looked at. We'll return to that one in a moment. What I would like to do first is just take a quick look at the introduction. I'm not going to read this for you. You can pause the video to do that. I just want to point out to you that this is an example of the general to specific kind of introduction. And as you look at this example, what you should see is that I'm trying to move the reader from a general discussion of film to a sense or two about the emotional chord that can be struck in the viewer, the experiences, fears, or desires that film can elicit from us, and to take those ideas and move us to a more specific discussion of Jerry Maguire and Forrest Gump. So I think you can see how this is a general to specific introduction. We start again with that general discussion of film, move on to the emotions that film can elicit in the viewer, and then to Maguire and Gump. So let's take a quick look at the paragraph we referred to before. This is the topic sentence that we quickly put together about Jerry Maguire. Jerry Maguire, hasty marriage is miraculously saved in the end. The change, however, is driven by social expectations and financial success. Now, I'm not going to read this paragraph for you. You can pause the video and do that as you see fit. I just want to point out a few key points in this paragraph. First of all, everything here, the body of the paragraph, must prove that this statement, this topic sentence, is true, right? And so what I should be able to do is see that in every single paragraph. So what that means is every topic sentence I have for the rest of the essay, if I take those topic sentences out and I connect them directly with my thesis, I should see links and ideas between that thesis and my topic sentences. Now, so the last thing I'll point out to you is this right here. These sentences contain direct quotation from a source by a man named Watson. You can see I've used quotation marks to indicate that it's a direct quotation. You can see here that we have a citation. That's the page number. I don't have the author's name here because I've actually included Watson's name at the beginning of the sentence. So that inclusion here is unnecessary. So there you have it, a brief overview of one paragraph in this essay. And because I've done all my preparatory work, I've got all my brainstorming, I've got all my secondary sources, I've got my categories, I have my thesis, it's just a question now of making sure that my topic sentences give me something to prove, and that they prove something that's directly related to my thesis. And after that, it's just a simple question of providing evidence in the paragraph that follows that prove that each of these topic sentences are true.